This video is about how you can become fluent in English.
You are fucking.
You fucking, you bloody.
You bloody.
Fuck you bloody. Bastard bitch.
You
Fuck you.
bastard.
Why you fuck me? I fuck you bloody.
So most people, when they're trying to learn English or any other language, what they do is they try to learn the grammars, the rules. And then all over the world there are classes. Doesn't matter which country you live in, there are classes that teach you the grammars and the rules. But that's not the most effective way to learn a language. So I went to that route of learning grammar for the first 5 years, and the problem with it is that it's not practical. You can learn as much grammar as you like, and this is what most people do. But when it comes to real conversation, they try to learn grammar for a couple of years, and then when it comes to real conversation, which is the real reason that we learn languages, which is to communicate. So when they are in a situation where they have to communicate to another person, whether it be verbally or in written form, they will be shocked to find that they cannot communicate properly because they have learned wrong techniques. Because what happens is that real conversations are not that formal. They are not what we are taught in English classes. It's much more snappier, it's much more faster, because when you're learning languages through grammar, what you do is that when you come face to face with someone to talk in that language, you begin to translate in your mind. So whatever thing that you're trying to communicate, you'll first try to translate it in your mind to the language that you're trying to communicate to the other person. That makes you overthink, that makes you stutter and stammer. Fluency doesn't mean that you have the perfect accent or you're communicating perfectly. Fluency means that whatever you're trying to communicate, the other person perceives and knows what you're trying to communicate. They can comprehend what you're saying. So learning grammar is not a perfect option. What else can you do? You can do these two things which I did. As I said, for the first 5 years I learned grammars. I knew how to make sentences, but I didn't know how to speak or write. So after doing these two things, I became fluent, listening and speaking. I know this sounds very cliche, but think about how a baby learns a language. Through listening, they're not taught nouns and pronouns when they're first starting. They're just listening to their parents or the people around them, and then slowly they gain the knowledge. This is meant to be called this, and that needs to be called that. You need to learn to listen, because that's what communication is, as I said. It's snappy, it's faster. When someone says something, you just immediately have to comprehend it so that you are able to make that answer ready. So for listening, you have a lot of choices. If you have internet, you can listen to podcasts, movies. And what I did was that I tried to do everything in English. I tried to watch movies, and because I was addicted to YouTube, and I've talked about this in the previous videos, all the content that I watched on YouTube was from the content creators who spoke in English. So if you're watching YouTube, why not switch the content to the language that you're trying to learn? Watching movies is a great example, but I wouldn't recommend it to beginners, because in movies most of the conversation is they're scripted. That's not what you would hear in real life conversation. It's formal. But watching YouTube videos or listening to podcasts, it's much more casual. That's how people talk in the real world. And speaking is more important, I think, because learning a language, as I said, communicating is a skill. You need to do it to become proficient at it. And when it comes to speaking, if you're not living in America or in some other countries which speak English, then what are the options? I mean, there are a lot of options which I, living in Pakistan, tried. You can talk to a mirror.
You did something good today. You did something good today!
Set up a mirror and start talking to yourself. It's scary at first because it seems awkward. But when you're trying to learn something, that's not what you should be worrying about. The second thing is you can record your voice. I know you hate to listen to your own sound because it seems, as I said, awkward. But you should try it, and then as you listen to your voice, it gets casual. You won't be cringing the more you listen to your audio. Or you can do video. You start recording yourself talking. You don't have to show it to anyone. And the good thing about recording yourself is that as you're practicing, you will analyze the video and see the common mistakes that you make while you're speaking. You might be using a lot of filler words, or you might be stuttering and having difficulty with a certain part of the speech. Maybe you have difficulty pronouncing a word. Then you can focus on that and start practicing to improve your pronunciation. And also there's an app. Now we live in a world where we have so many opportunities which didn't exist back in the day. There are a lot of apps that allow you to talk to strangers online. And there's a famous one, Cambly, if you are willing to pay monthly. But there's a free alternative, and this is called Speak English. I'll leave the link in the description. You can install this app and start calling other people from around the world and start talking. Anyways, that was the end of the video. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you in the next video.